Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach. It's going to be the round 13 review. The first major buy in the books. There wasn't, not for some drama. There was quite a bit of, there was potentially some heavy shit to happen with Supercoach. For those that maybe haven't checked this morning, Supercoach stuffed up. Thankfully, they have rectified it, but they stuffed up this morning because they got the lockout done pretty quickly. I had a look, and my score was like, I think the score I had was 1,066, which was a lot better than I thought I was going to get. And I think my rank had gone up like 2,000 spots. So I was sitting like 2,400. But come to find out that they they counted all your playing numbers. So I had 15 players. So on top of my 13 scoring players, it added on my 14 and 15 lowest scoring players as well. So it bumped me up an extra 90 points thereabouts. So there was quite a bit of drama this morning. The top scorer had like 1,500 for the week, but it had 17 players. So that did all get rectified. Obviously, there was a bit of muck around, and hopefully, hopefully a lot of people didn't go and check because it could have either stuffed you around earlier and improved later, or it could have been good earlier and then stuffed you around later. So we changed it a little bit. We obviously still went up 1,000 spots, which is fine. 972, which is this week. I gotta say, a bit disappointing. Like we had a good bye week for sure. Like most of our players went really solidly. We didn't have any like low scoring players, but unfortunately, literally every bye scoring player went well, and I'm pretty sure every bye player that I didn't have absolutely killed it. We didn't have a Zarko, we didn't have Marju, we didn't have Horsburgh, didn't have... who else? I mean, Moses turned up. He got a fucking try right at the end. Like, literally every player we did not have who were also pretty popular just went big. So we had a really good week, but we just... unfortunately, having the extra 2 numbers didn't really help us at the end of the day. Honestly, we got a bit unlucky. I'm not gonna lie, we got a bit unlucky with the scoring. But let's go through it, because again, we had a good week. We had a good week, and I still think we're pretty well set up. So yeah, Damien Cook, 72. That was another one. Jeremy Marshall King fucking killed it. He got like 80 odd points, I think. At the end of the day, I could have, maybe I could have gone Marshall King, but he did cost 100k more. Cook thankfully got a try. I gotta be honest, I'm not, I don't know about Cook. He did get 72 points, so it's still good, but he's just not running the ball. Like he's just not running the footy. But regardless, I mean, we got a good dummy half pairing. Whether or not that is what we keep for the end of the year, I don't know. Time will tell. But yeah, not shabby. Our front row pretty solid. I mean, Tohu Harris we brought in. I think he played the full 80. Looked pretty good. 62 points. Can't be displeased with that. Joe Tarpany, 82 points. Did he play how many minutes did he play? He played a lot of minutes. Yeah, he played 68 minutes. Just absolutely, he looked on from like from word go. He looked on. Like his runs were just more of like last year. He was crabbing across field. He was getting behind the ruck. He was looking really, really good. So Tarpany finally picking it up. But again, most people have Tarpany now, so it's like everyone would have brought him in. Fainu, who we traded in for Bunty Afoa. Honestly, 48 points. He looked pretty good. He'll definitely make some good cash. So I'm happy to have picked him up. Obviously using a boost to get him, but I think it was the right move to make, honestly. I think it was the right move to make. And I know we could have traded Pele instead of Fainu. But I don't know. I just thought getting rid of Afoa, I think was the better outcome. Because Pele, I mean, you never know. Pele could come in and start actually playing some minutes and jag a couple of attacking stats. So I don't hate not getting rid of Pele. He might be annoying, but it is what it is. The back row. So Cartwright with the 64. honestly, looked pretty good. He was close to getting a few more points, but 64. My boy, Helam Lukey, 87 points, man. Oh, it started well, dude. It started so well. Helam Lukey, he's just so good. Like, obviously last week, just an absolute shocker. But like I said, it was a bit of an anomaly. I mean, the Cowboys were just so bad. Like, they had no football. Bunch of missed tackles from everyone. Helam Lukey was the guy that got hooked early, but you just knew, like, he's so damaging. Like, his first real attacking run, he gets between, like, Dylan Brown, best defensive half in the game, still has all sorts of trouble with him. He gets an offload away, try assist, beautiful work, and then he played big minutes. I think he must have played almost 70, I think. Yeah, he played 71 minutes, so I was very pleased with that. I was hoping he'd go the 80, but, you know, that they brought the young tearaway on for the last few minutes, which is fine. I still think Lukey might be a trade in a couple of weeks just because Nanai is going to be back soon. I think he might be back this week, Nanai, so I'm just not sure what they're going to do with the rotation, but obviously, he's made me good cash. He's got me. I mean, the points now are very good for me. Even though the 20 last week, he's done his job. Jackson Ford, 46. I mean, this is one of the ones where it's a bit disappointing. He only played. He played 66 minutes. Frustrating. Honestly, frustrating. He's played 80 minutes like every week, barring the game where he got a concussion. And then the bye round, he only played 66 minutes, dude. Yeah, disappointing. So I think he was one of the guys that dropped out of our 13. But it's fine. Josh Schuster with a 50. You know, he looked... I mean, the Manly boys were not great. Schuster had a couple of good moments, but... I mean, you'll take 50 from him. Our 5'8", so Dylan Brown, we did end up looping the 84, which worked well. I think he was our... Yeah, I mean, Lukey was our high-scoring player with 87. Yeah, Lukey top scored for us, 87. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there was... every ton, we just didn't have any of the guys went big. It was a frustrating week, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we did loop Brown's 84, which is... I mean... People were so annoying on Twitter, dude. They had, like, players who got 100 and are like, oh, should I loop this? And it's like, obviously, it's a free loop, dude. It's a free loop. And I was just like, you know, I could have put it on Cook. He would have got 72. I was probably thinking Cook or Harris for the captain if I didn't loop the Brown play. So it definitely worked out well for us. And, I mean, for those guys to score bigger, they would have had to kill it. So... It was such a gimme. Even with an 84, it was like, obviously, you're going to loop it. You just never know what's going to happen. Cody Walker with a 68. He had a few try assists. But, yeah. Still solid. Still very solid. Our centre wings. So, Ruben Garrick, 55. Johnston got a 70 with a couple of tries. He pretty much scored all his points in tries and line breaks. I wasn't looking at the score, but I feel like before he scored his first try, he would have been on, like, 1 point. I think he made 1 carry in, like, 30 minutes. I can't remember when he scored, but it was not looking good for Alex Johnston early on, but he got a couple of tries. And, I mean, that's Johnston all over, dude. Jared Croker with a 65. Jack Bird, oh, my God. Jack Bird, that just typifies the weekend there. Jack Bird... I guess he got a lucky try because it was on the 7 tackle, apparently. I saw that after, well, a couple of days later they were reporting on that. So I guess he got lucky with the try. And also it was lucky he got a try anyway because they fucking hooked him. Oh my God, dude. How many minutes did he play? Like 50 minutes? 53 minutes, dude. 53 minutes. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Like, the Dragons needed points, and he just kept Ben Murdoch-Masila out there for 80. Jack DeBellin, like, I know he got sin bin, so he didn't play the full 80, but he looked gone the whole second half. Like, he could barely move. Obviously, he still made his tackles and stuff, but Jesus, he looked awful. Jack de Bellin's got to be one of the most overrated players. I know people don't like him, but people still think he's pretty good. I think he's fucking awful, dude. Like, he doesn't get credited for missed tackles because he just doesn't make... He doesn't even get close to even lay a hand on. There was so many times where, like, there were clean breaks, like, straight through de Bellin, but he doesn't actually get a missed tackle for it. I know Jack Bird came up with a couple of bad ones as well, but man, oh man, I was like... He went off in the 50th minute. I was like, okay, they're going to bring him back with like 15 minutes to go. Nope. They needed points, and for all Jack Bird's faults, like, he is a guy that can come up with points, but no, they just didn't play him. So that was that's a real kick in the guts. So Jack Bird, I mean, we sort of correlated to Jack Bird versus Zarko. Zarko went 100. Jack Bird was sort of my pod play because not many people own Jack Bird, and he's a really good number for round 13. He got, you know, a point a minute basically with that try, and then just he was on track for a decent score. Didn't come back on. So yeah, and we kept him for the buys. I don't know what to do with Jack Bird now. I feel like we just still keep him though, because he is good cover. See what happens, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely some better options potentially. And then Clint Gutherson, we'll take it. 81 points. I feel like he got a couple of lucky try assists in this game, but I'll take the 81 points. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, the scores are pretty damn good across the board. We just didn't have anyone that went big. Like I said, there was so many guys that went big in this week. All the major buy players that we didn't have killed it. So, you know, we can't complain, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to complain. It is what it is. So let's have a quick look at the team as it is now in round 14. So we got a fair few players not playing in round 14. So let's just have a quick gander at what it could be, and also we'll account for the Origin players, I guess, as well. So yeah, because there'll be, you know, it could be a bit of chaos. Croker's also getting rested. Yeah, I guess Holmes will back up surely. You know what? We'll just go for the worst case scenario as it is, just in case none of them back up, I guess. And yeah, just chuck old mate. So let's have a look. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's have a look. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. I mean, we'll count, like, surely Hines will back up. Like, he's playing off the bench. I know so Latrell Mitchell is out. He's got a calf strain. Nathan Cleary, I just heard, like, he's got a tooth infection. I feel like he'll play, right? Like, I'd be a bit shocked if he doesn't. But we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on whether that happens. But surely, the way it is now, Hines will back up. So I mean, we've got 13, but that's not accounting for Origin players backing up. So who would you think backs up? Like, so yeah, Croker's rested, so that's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. Holmes, you know, he's playing center. When do the Cowboys play? They play late. They play Sunday afternoon. So Holmes, you would think, will back up, right? So we'll chuck Holmes. Cleary, definite potential resting. They play late as well, though. They play the last game of the round. So I guess depending how the game goes, Cleary backs up. Hopefully against the Dragons would be nice. Who else? Fafita, they play on the Saturday. The fact he's starting, it's a little tricky. It is a little tricky for sure. And then we got Harry Grant. Harry Grant also plays. I feel like Grant will back up as well, right? I mean, again, he's only going to play 40, 50 minutes at most off the bench for Queensland, which is still tough. It's still very tough through the middle in Origin, so it's not going to be a walk in the park. But I feel like the Storm need Harry Grant to back up. So at the moment, we're sitting okay. I mean, worst case scenario, we don't have any reserves, but we are going to make some trades. So who are we looking at trading? So we got to look ahead now to round 16. So 16, Obviously, your Eels players are still good. Knights players are good. I mean, I wouldn't hate bringing in Marju next week, potentially. Obviously, they got the bye this week. But Knights, Roosters players are good. We got a couple with Manu and Billy Smith. But we'll have a look at any other Roosters. I mean, Tupanua, Angus Crichton, definite options, I think, if they can start finding some more minutes. Penrith players, we're probably just going to... I mean, Tungo... I guess Tungo could be back this week as well. I actually haven't looked at that, so that could stuff us with Peachy. But yeah, I wouldn't hate bringing Tungo in like straight away, honestly, with the bye coverage. And then Manly is still good. West Tigers, Sharks, Bulldogs. Sharks, Bulldogs are probably the main ones that I'm gonna try to target. Especially Sharks players, I think. Also West, I mean, Isaiah Papali'i, Johnny Bateman. Both pretty solid options. So what players are we going to look to move on from? The hookers, I mean, the hookers are like fine. I mean, Marshall King, I wouldn't hate getting Marshall King in, but I think we just run with these two. If something happens, something happens. Hopefully Cook. I just don't think Cook's form has been good enough to get into Origin. Even if Blues lose, I don't know. He's not really looking that dangerous. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't make it for game 2 anyway. The front row, so Harris and Tarpany are great holds, even though they don't cover round 16. We will need another front rower. I'm definitely looking at, I mean, Max King. Max King is probably my top priority in terms of front rowers to look at. So Fainu obviously make some cash in the next few weeks, and then maybe he's the guy to trade up to Max King. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that one. The back row, Helam Lukey. He does cover round 16, so I think Lukey is just a wait and see. I would love if he just kept his spot and kept the decent minutes, because he is a guy that, yeah, he can go 30s. I mean, 20s. I wouldn't think 20s. More like 30s to 40s. But then he can go massive. So I think Lukey hopefully keeps the spot. Because, I mean, Payton... It was actually fucking... I liked what Payton did. He should have done it last week as well. He kept... I mean, I don't like Gazewski that much, but I think Gazewski has been pretty solid. Bringing Leigh Lewis straight into the starting team last week was just horrendous. This week... He dropped Leilua back to the bench. Gazewski started, and Leilua played through the middle for a good chunk, and then I think he definitely moved to the edge after a little bit. Or did they switch? I don't know. It was a bit strange, but honestly, Leilua through the middle I think worked pretty well, and then Nanaway and Lukey on the edges, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like surely they can't drop Lukey back to the bench, but we'll see what he does. Jackson Ford is definitely a sell potential. He doesn't cover round 16. He's made plenty of cash. He's probably going to start leaking it, but he looks good. He just, like, his base is so solid. I don't, like, I'm going to hold him this week, I think, but yeah, depending how things go, he's definitely a trade option. Tyrone Peachy, he's definitely got to go before round 16 anyway. Probably to, I mean, Tunga, if I can just trade straight to Tunga, I'd be happy to. For Feeder, I think he's just a hold throughout. Cartwright, I mean, Cartwright's probably just a hold. Like, he covers round 16. Doesn't play this round, obviously, but he's just looking really good. And I mean, depending how injuries go, I feel like he should be there for round 16, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. He might be a guy we trade up to, like a Madison. If Madison's back, we'll see how it goes. Or even a Hopgood. Schuster, obviously we're holding Schuster. The halfbacks, I'm definitely holding. Potentially, so Hines plays 14 and 15. And then potentially, honestly, I might end up trading, like, potential plans is trading Hines to Mitchell Moses in round 16, because Hines doesn't play 16, he doesn't play 17, he plays 18 against the Dragons, so that's a bit dangerous. But then he won't play 19. And he won't... Well, he could back up for round 20 against the Warriors. But maybe we trade Hines to Moses around 16. And then we just bring him back for like round 18. But yeah, it's a few trades to make, so I don't know. That's up in the air. 5/8s, I think 5/8s are rock solid. If anything happens to one of them, then you can trade them off, but I think they're stacked for now. Center wing, so Manu, Johnston, Smith, Bird. Bird doesn't play 16 anyway, so I think Bird's probably got to go. Yeah, I think Bird's going to have to go soon. Johnston, does he play? He doesn't play around 16, but we're definitely going to keep him for the next couple of weeks anyway. But yeah, Johnston, maybe. We'll see how it goes. Ruben Garrick, we're going to keep. Val Holmes is going to be a trade, potentially after this week. Hopefully he backs up, repays a bit of faith, and then we get rid of him. Jared Croker, definitely on the chopping block as well. He's not playing this week, which is annoying, and then he doesn't cover round 16. So Croker, he's made a lot of cash, and then hopefully we can trade to a cheapie or someone. The fullbacks, so Gutherson, we're probably just going to hold. And then Taruva. I mean, Taruva are holding. We're just, I don't know. We'll fullback options for round 16. I mean, I guess Drinkwater potentially. I mean, I guess Kalen Ponga, if Ponga somehow doesn't make Origin in game 2, you start looking at Ponga then, because they don't play this week, and then they play next week. But you could look at Ponga. You could look at who else? Not too many else. I mean, maybe a Will Kennedy as a flyer. There's a couple of options there. So yeah, there's definitely. The team is looking pretty good, but yeah, we definitely have to. So let's actually have a quick squiz. We trade Jack. I don't think I'm trading Jack Bird. Holmes, I would like to trade, but the thing, like, I feel like Holmes will back up this week, so I'm not going to trade him this week. So round 14. Yeah. Who can we get rid of? Because that's the tricky part, is that if the worst case scenario does happen, we could be short. But I mean, if the worst case scenario does happen, we just trade. You know, it is what it is. You can trade a Holmes, or you can trade who else would I be willing to trade? I mean, honestly, a Cartwright wouldn't be the worst trade out, but we'll see how it goes. But let's just have a quick look at Bird, because how much is Tungo? Because I think hopefully Tungo's not back this week. Hopefully it's next week, but we'll see how that goes. Also, Stephen Crichton is now playing Origin, so you would think if Tungo's back, maybe they give Crichton a rest, and Peachy keeps a spot for another week anyway. But let's just have fucking, yeah, look at this dude, Zarko. Oh man, Zarko 100 points. Tungo's 660. That's a little tricky. I mean, I do have the cash actually go Bird to Tungo this week, but probably wouldn't do it yet. Marju 138 points. He's 650. He's on a bye this week, so you don't have to get him in anyway. Connolly, Lemueli got 62, so not the worst thing in the world. Who else was a popular one? Kaufeld, Penasini, Dallin with Denny Zelezniak, 128 points. Chansey, Nick Clockstar got 94, dude. Killed it. And Dom Young, Isaiah Tass. Yeah, some big scores. Some big tons out of this week for sure. So I'm pretty torn on what to do. We might just hold trades this week. I don't know. Like, there's not too many guys I want to get rid of. And like, I do think, so the worst case scenario could happen, but I do think Holmes surely backs up, right? You would think the Cowboys aren't going well enough for him to rest. They play late, but he could cop a knock. Harry Grant, you would think, would back up as well. So there's two. And then Fafita, you would think they would want him to play, and then Cleary, maybe. We would need everything to go right. So, I don't know. Do you trade Cartwright? I don't know. It is a tough week. It is a tough week, and it does depend. I mean, we could be really stuffed if like a Joey Manu doesn't pull up, because obviously he's been out injured. He is reported to come back this week, but you never know. Who else could be a late out? I mean, Tyrone Peachy, if Tungo is back, they might drop Peachy. He could be out, which would stuff us. So, yeah, it could be a tricky week. And I don't know who I'd trade if worst comes to worst. I mean, Gutherson, I guess Gutherson, if the worst happened. Who could we get? Who plays 14? I mean, the Cowboys. Honestly, the Cowboys getting in Drinkwater might not be the worst option. I mean, honestly, getting in Buller, as much as I hate it, getting in Buller in round 14 wouldn't be the worst, because Buller plays 14, 15 against Titans, and then 16 he plays against Storm with a weakened Storm team. I'm guessing he doesn't play 18. No. So, yeah, you know, I could definitely do that. There's no one really else I like. Is there? Will Kennedy. Let's have a quick look. I don't think I'm gonna do this, because I mean Gutherson is just a good number over it. Let's just have a quick look. So, Drinkwater's up to 720. Man, he got 117. I mean, good bringing Jermaine as I mean, fuck, dude, get into Zarko. Honestly, maybe we get into Zarko, man. He's just, oh my god, he just, and it's not even that he's just jagging tries. He's just looking really good. Like, his base is up, his goal kicking is sensational. I don't hate it. Man, it's really killed us this year not having a Zarko. So many people own him. It's been a nightmare. But maybe, I don't know. We could get a Zarko, because, I mean, they cover the bye so nicely. They take on the Warriors this week. So, yeah. They don't play 16, though. That's the only annoying one. But then they cover it so nicely. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Will Kennedy, 700k. Don't hate. Nick Meaney? You know, I mean, Nicholas Meaney. They take on the Cowboys. Then they cover... So Sharks 15. They take on Tigers in 16. 17, 18. They don't play 19. But that's good coverage for Nick Meaney. Not a bad shout, actually. Fucking Lockie Miller. He didn't even play. I think he was on the bench, right? He just didn't get any game time. Who else we got? I mean, Chansey. Anyone else? So Buller's still only 450. So you still make a bunch of cash from this trade, and he is looking really good. So worst comes to worst, I don't hate getting in Buller. I don't hate it. Anyone else? Don't think so. Don't think there's any cheapies. But I think, yeah, it's a tricky week. Gotta wait to see what happens with Origin. There's not much we can really say with certainty at the moment. Unfortunately, the Tigers play the first game of the round, so you've got to make that decision pretty... Yeah, that fucks me, dude. That stuffs me. I guess you could get rid of... No, you wouldn't get rid of Garrick. You could get rid of Croker. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that maybe is what I do. Get rid of Croker for Buller. It only costs us 20k. Croker has done a great job for us. He's got some good points. He's made some cash. He's not covering the buys that great anymore, and the fact he's not playing this week. Getting in Buller, That's probably the move we maybe make. Other than that, I don't know. There's not too much else we really want to do, but we could. I don't know. It's a tricky week, but yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not too much else to talk about without knowing what's going on with Origin and who's going to back up and what teams are going to get named. So we'll wait to see. Hopefully you guys went well this week, and hopefully you're not going to be too too stuffed up in this round. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully things don't screw us over too badly. But we'll see. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.